Okay, guys, let's go ahead and hop in, and then if anybody else hops on, they can join in. Okay, so I'm really excited tonight, or for tonight. I have been watching. There's a I don't know, it's like a leadership personal development page that Joel Dunn actually runs. And they are currently covering John Maxwell. So basically just like kind of diving into his leadership. And if you don't know who John Maxwell is, he is the leadership guru. So if you're ever looking for um, like videos or books to read on how to become a better leader, he is my number one guy. Okay, he is like the leadership dude, and he's absolutely amazing. So they've been kind of diving into. We've been kind of watching these zooms of him talking, and it's all leadership related. And I've been watching them, and I literally have been like, oh my God, this is so amazing. Like, this is so amazing. This is so relevant to this business. So I wanted to share part of what I have been learning from those with you guys, because I feel like it's going to be so helpful for you. Because I know, like, when we first started this out and we kind of sent those little brief questionnaires about like what you guys really wanted to get out of this, almost all of you kind of generally just said leadership, right? Like, how do I become a better leader? And I feel like that's a great thing, because I'm in the same boat. Like, I'm always trying to get better, right? And one of the things that John Maxwell says is that leaders are not born; they're developed. So he truly believes that there's no such thing as a natural born leader. It's something that you choose to develop and get better at. And I know for me personally, that's something that I'm always trying to get better at, because I'm not a natural leader. I'm just not. So I have loved this series, and I think that it's going to be super helpful for you guys as well. And probably over the next couple of weeks, we're going to kind of dive into a little bit more of that even. So I'm excited to share that. Before I hop into that, Christy Reedy, in all of her amazing organizational teacher skills, has come up with a really awesome plan for those of you who are promoting or have people who are maybe promoting maybe Ruby and above, okay, on how to kind of look at your chart and how to realistically break it down to make promotions like more streamlined, if that makes any sense. So I'm going to let her talk a little bit about that and what she came up with, and then we'll dive into the Maxwell stuff. Go ahead, Chrissy. You're unmuted.
Okay, thanks. First of all, I know this is shocking to anyone that knows me, but it's like this time of night, my internet at home goes down, so I can't get on my computer to be able to screen share with you. But I will tell you that all of the Diamond and Above leaders have a copy of this document that I'm going to be talking about, and I'm sure they would share it with you, and I would be happy to share it with you too if you want to actually get your hands on it and print it out. I know that some of us have already talked to our teams about it, but I'm so linear, sequential, and concrete in my thinking that I needed a way to get my mind around the new compensation plan, because it is just a little bit different. Even though it's great that they've taken some of the boxes off of the charts, which for a lot of people I think took some dead weight off, we still have to keep our volume to the same point to either promote or re-rank. And so it took me a minute to kind of get my head around like what that would look like. So I don't know if you can see this or not. So what I have is like a sample chart on this paper. And so there are just some fundamental things that I think might help us. In the past, when we were working through projected volumes, we always wrote down how much volume we still needed to get a particular box to 400. And so now I think it's going to be important for us to write down our projected volume in terms of what is our total projected volume for each box. Because if you look at like a Ruby leg, you need 2,000 volume for that Ruby to promote to Ruby and maintain Ruby. So it takes more than just getting these qualified boxes to 400. And so if you know the exact amount of volume that's going to be projected, it's going to help you kind of manipulate your numbers a little bit more easily. So what I've suggested to my team to do is to keep the, first of all, just as a rule of thumb, and there will be different caveats for different people's teams depending on what your chart looks like and how many teammates you have off your chart. But as a general rule of thumb, just to try to think about, instead of those boxes only getting to 400, we're gonna make it like a 500 club. Now those qualified legs still only need 400, but if we think about our goal being 500, that's going to help our overall volume. So you're going to write your projected volume for each box on the right, and then in parentheses, just kind of keep track of how much volume each box needs to get into the 500 club. So that's one of the tips that I would give. And just kind of your game plan for, because the question is, how do you know where to put your volume first? Like, where should you concentrate your focus? And so what I would tell you is, number one, run an 80 BB auto shipment for yourself and for your spouse or significant other, because 9 times out of 10, we have built our spouse or significant others to at least a promoting leg, like either Ruby or our strongest leg. So you definitely want an 80 BB auto shipment for both of you. That's going to help your overall volume. That's going to help make sure that you're commission qualified, because you're not going to promote if even one of your promoting boxes is not commission qualified. The second thing is, if you have any fast start bonuses, I almost said it wrong, any fast start bonuses on the table, you want to get those first. Always take care of getting those first. And if you teach your team to set up an 80 BV auto shipment from the beginning, whether it runs or not, but in the month that they join, if they set up an 80 BV auto shipment, they will be commission qualified for that first month in their business. That gives you time to get 2 customers under them to get your fast start bonus. I need one of those shocker collars to shock me when I say it wrong. And it allows them to get paid their first month. So always teach your teams to do that. So go for the fast start bonuses first. If you have a non-working spouse as a promoting leg, you want to make sure that you take care of any PCV that needs to happen under them. I'm going to maybe skip a step just based on our conversation earlier. So for Jessica and you guys, you're probably like, why aren't you going right off of that?
Okay, hang on one second. Somebody else has logged in my account and it's about to kick me off. So whoever might be accidentally logged in is me, maybe, that uses my Power Hour account. Can you log out and get back on in your own so this doesn't get turned off? Thank you.
Single white female.
Go girl. Go for it.
Anyway, so essentially you want to place customers in the spots where no one else can help you. So for instance, if we look at this emerald chart right here, I would place customers under this leg right here, because let's say this girl, Mary, poor Mary, she's not working. And I also know on my chart, there's no one besides me that can place customers under her. So I'm gonna work on getting Mary to 500 first. And then I'm going to go work on any other qualified leg boxes on my team where people are not working, because I'm going to trust that the people that are working are going to help get themselves there, or if they have a leader above them that's working really hard, they're going to help them first. So go for the boxes where people cannot help you. And then go for the boxes that are non-workers. Start with the ones that have the volume closest to 500 first, and then work from there. And then you're going to be working really closely with your leaders to say, after you get the boxes taken care of that no one else can help you with, where do you need volume? Where do you need my help? Who's working? Who's not working? Where can I focus my efforts? So that methodically you and your leaders can kind of knock out those boxes and close them out one at a time. Don't forget that in this new situation, there could be people that are not on your chart, but they're somewhere on your team that have volume. So if Sally's going for Emerald, she has to get 5,000 group volume. There could be a Ruby or a couple of distributors that are left on her top line that still have volume under them. Don't forget to add that into the total group volume as you're kind of figuring out who needs what. And I know that your leaders will talk more specifically with you, but I just wanted to bring a couple of those things to your attention and let you know that this form is kind of a checklist that you might want to at least look at. It's not it's not foolproof, but at least it's a place to start. And then you can navigate your own team and your own chart as needed. Because, you know, not every box may have to get to 500 depending on where your volume is located on your team. Can you think of anything else, Jessica? Oh, there's one other thing that I want to tell you, and I wish I could show you this. There is a great video that Eric Hewlin, Lindsay Hewlin's husband, put together that kind of talks about some how to navigate your e-suite. And honestly, I've been in the business almost 2 years, and he talked about a couple of reports that I've never used before, but like it was like puzzle pieces fell into place and angels were singing. It was like a major moment for me in my life. So I would strongly encourage you to search by Eric Hewlin and Overcomers in that team page. But one of the reports that changed my life, if you go to your reports and click on downline auto shipments, what it's going to do, and I would do this at the beginning of the month, what it's going to do is pull up any auto shipments that are set to run for that month. You can click on export to Excel, and even if you've never done this before, you can Google like how to do a sum formula, but essentially it will create a sum of what your projected volume is total for the month. So if, let's say I hit Ruby last month and I hit it with 5,000. And so the next month I look at this report and I see that my overall volume is going to be 9,000. What that tells me is like, oh, I could maybe maintain my Emerald promotion just on volume alone. And so it helps you kind of pre-plan and figure out where your volume is going to be. But it really gives you a nice heads up for the month as to what your projected volume is as a whole, so that you can game plan to maintain promotions or re-rank or even hit promotions. You know, this month I knew that if I was going to hit triple, that I would need about 4,000 more group volume to get there. Not even thinking about in the right spots, but that let me know that I wasn't far off. So it's a great tool to use at the beginning of the month, especially everybody that's going for promotions, to give you a heads up as to how hard and how fast you need to run.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, a couple things that I want to let you guys know about as well before we jump into the John Maxwell stuff. Number one, we are creating for the month of March a Ruby push group and a Diamond push group. Okay. If you've never been a part of a push group, basically what this is if you are like, look, I'm going to hit Diamond in the month of March. I want all the tips. I want all the everything. Give me all the knowledge. I want to make this happen. Push groups are great. Okay. Because you're going to be working alongside the other people that are going for the same thing and learning from people who've already been there, done that. Okay. So I typically, what I've done in the past is made a post in Boss Babes. Like, if you want to be in one of these groups, let me know. But historically, what I feel like happens is that everybody feels like they have to say yes, right? So, and I don't want that. Like, I only want people in these groups that are really going to like do the tasks every day, be committed, and are like really going for a goal. So, if you, all of you on here would be obviously eligible for the Diamond. We're not doing an Emerald push group because here's the reason. Most people skip by Emerald. Okay. Oftentimes what happens is someone will hit Ruby, and then as they're going for Emerald, they'll go like Emerald Diamond. Okay. Or they're like Ruby Emerald and then Diamond. So a lot of times Emerald is kind of like a quick step. And basically if you're going for Emerald, you're going to be doing the same things basically that you're going to be doing to get to Diamond. And with the $10,000 bonus on the line, I'm going to guess that you'd rather kind of, go for Diamond, right? So we're going to go big that way. So those people that are maybe in your downlines that are maybe going for the $1,000 Ruby guarantee, or not even the guarantee, maybe they've been in for a while, but they're like, I need to get to Ruby. Talk to them and see if they want to be in this group. Okay. And then let me know, or let one of us know. We're going to start this on March 1st. So there's going to be a Ruby group and there's going to be a Diamond group. So basically daily tips, daily tasks, challenges. We're going to create like some comment pods, some accountability partners. Like, it's just going to be a close group to work together all month to help you guys get to that goal. Okay. So I'm super excited about that. So we're going to start that. That's going to go all the month of March. So that is coming. Okay. Also, something that I wanted to mention, because I am one of those people that like stares at my reports every single morning. Here's the deal. So before the change in the kits, basically. So now, like with the $20 kits, or not even, maybe this will be even when they go back to 99, but with like, you can pick the pack, and then you can choose to do that one auto shipment or whatever. Awesome. But what it has done is kind of screwed us up a little bit, because before, when somebody would join, they would get those default 2 boxes of wraps, right, in their account, like as a default auto shipment to run a month from their join date, which made them commission qualified, right? Now that's not an option. So before, they were automatically, like, they got their kit and then they already had that kind of set up, and they were automatically in their first month commission qualified. That is no longer the case. Now, if you were on the training the other day with Brittany Landrum, she said that that was still the case. That was incorrect. Okay, so that was an oopsie. But here's the deal. In order for your new distributor to be commission qualified, they either need the 150, right, in PBV that month, or need to set up that 80 BV auto shipment to run within their first 30 days. Now, guys, here's the deal. This is what so many people have a hard time understanding. I'm not saying that has to run. It needs to be set up. Okay, so let's say that Sally joins on February 14th. Okay, she can set up her auto shipment to run on March the 8th. Okay, and as long as it's set up with at least 80 BV, she's automatically commission qualified for the month of February. Okay, now the reason this is important, because they're eligible to be paid, right? That's a biggie. That's the biggest biggie. But secondly, then you can get your fast start bonus, right? So what you want to make sure that you're doing is having your new people set up that auto shipment right away. Okay. Preferably we want them to run it, because we want them to get some products in their hands, right? That's how they're going to be successful. But if they're like, I cannot do it, I'm like, okay, I'm going to set it up for March the 8th or whatever it is. And we're going to work in the meantime to get your volume to 150, right? And then before that runs, we can either turn it off, or we can change it, like if we need to make it smaller, whatever we need to do. But for right now, we need to make sure that you are commission qualified, because you'll be eligible to get a paycheck. Secondly, when you get 2 customers within your first 30 days, right, they're fast start qualified, okay? Because I want you to be able to earn these unlimited $100 bonuses for the length of your business, okay? So letting people know that this is not only going to help them obviously start working towards that shopping spree, it's going to make them commission qualified, it's going to make them fast start qualified so they can earn those $100 bonuses. Yes, if they get the pack, if they get the automatic auto shipment, yes. And then obviously then you can get the $100 bonuses as well. Okay, because here's what I have noticed this week, guys, and this is no bueno. Okay, I'm looking at my sheets of everybody, and we have welcomed, I don't even know how many distributors. I wish that I would have counted so far. It's an ungodly amount, like the most we've ever in a month have ever gotten in this team. But almost every single one of them has zero for their auto shipment. Okay. Which means, and a lot of them have 2 customers, 3 customers, 4 customers, but you guys are not getting your $100 fast start bonuses because they're not commission qualified. All they simply have to do is go in and set up that auto shipment for at least 80. Okay. Get your fast starts, help them get their volume up, and then turn it off if you need to. Okay. Or make it smaller, but don't miss your fast start bonuses, guys. That's that's like an easy $100. Don't miss it. So make sure you're watching start dates. Okay. When a customer signs up, make sure you know what their 30-day mark is. Now it is 30 days from their start date. It is not February 11th, March 11th, right? Count 30 days from their start date. That is when they have to at least have that 80 BV auto set up to run within that time frame, or they have to have 150 in the personal volume, PBV, so that you can get your fast start bonus. Okay. There's like thousands of dollars right now that are about to be missed within the next couple of days. So make sure tonight or tomorrow you are checking, because there's a lot of money on the table there. Okay. Okay. I had to say that because it makes me like a hot mess. Cause I'm like, oh my God, they're not going to get your bonus. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Okay. And some of you might have already gotten a message from me, like, get your people. Come on. Okay. All right. So that's that. Okay. So let's get to the fun stuff, guys. Okay. Now I want you to know you're going to want to take notes with this. Okay. Get out your notebook and get out your pens, because I want you to, I think you guys, this Zoom that I watched, this one in particular was so good that I watched it 3 times. Okay. But I want you to really, like, not only just like write this all down. I think this is relevant to share with your teams. I think this is relevant for you to kind of keep it as you're working towards. And I want you to think about where you are right now versus where you want to be in your leadership skills. Okay. Because this is all leadership related. And I love this stuff. So I hope you enjoy this and get as much out of this as I did. I tried to take amazing notes. So I hope that this translates well. Okay. So basically, during this session, they're talking to John Maxwell about his new revision of his book called Developing the Leader Within You. And if you're looking for a great leadership book, this would be a good one. Developing the Leader Within You. Okay. Now, he is revising this. This is one of the first books that he wrote. So their first question to him was, why are you revising one of your bestsellers, like something that is so popular? Why are you revising it? And revising it so much that he is revising 89% of this book. Okay. And his answer, and I loved this, was because I'm still growing. And this was one of my favorite quotes, was, your best work yesterday should not ever come close to the work that you do today. Okay. And I think that's so relevant going from promotion to promotion. Even as a leader, your best work yesterday should not come close to what you're doing today. We should always be getting better, right? So he goes through the different levels of leadership. And you guys, I really feel like this is so relevant in this business. And if you don't know, John Maxwell is a huge proponent of network marketing. He loves it. In fact, Alyssa Bilyeu, who you guys heard from last time, was invited to go to one of his seminars, which was all towards top network marketing leaders. Okay. He loves network marketing. He thinks it is one of the best things that you can do. In fact, he said if he had it to do all over again, he would find a good, reputable network marketing company and he would work his way to the top as a way to make a good income. Okay. So he really, really believes in it. So I want you to take notes and think about where you are right now. Okay. Versus how he says to get to that next level. Okay. What I like about this is that your level in leadership has nothing to do with how long you've been in this business. Okay. You could be in here for 3 months and you could be at a deeper leadership level than somebody that's been in for 3 years. Okay. But the important thing I think in this business to realize is that your success in this business has a lot to do with how you lead your team. Okay. So that is one of the things why we wanted to start doing these Ruby and Above Zooms is because leadership is definitely not a title. Okay. It is it's an action. And John Maxwell actually talks about that in this. It's an action. And the better of a leader that you are, the more successful you're going to be in this business. That's just how it is. Okay. So, okay. And again, he says that very thing, like leadership is not a title. It is an action. Whether you're, just because you're a diamond doesn't mean that you're a leader. And it definitely doesn't mean that you're a good leader. Right. But that's what we want to help you do, is become a better leader. That's something I'm trying to do. I in no way, shape, or form think I'm a great leader. In fact, I think it's one of my biggest struggles is leadership. And it's something that I'm always trying to get better at. So hopefully we can do that together. Okay. Okay. So he says that the definition of leadership is influence. Okay. The more people that you influence, the more successful you are going to be. And how true is that? Right? The more people that you influence, the more successful you are going to be. There is no such thing as a natural born leader. It is something that you continually work on and develop. Okay. And like I said before, I think that's so me. Like you guys have never led a thing in my life. Like leadership terrifies me, right? But it's something that I'm willing to work at and get better at all the time. And that's what's important. So we're going to talk about 5 levels of leadership, and I want you guys to write these down because I want you to kind of do some inward digging, okay, tonight or tomorrow, and really think about where you are. Like think about where you are and then how you're going to get to that next level, okay? Okay, so level 1, he calls it position, okay? A great place to start, but it's a horrible place to stay, okay? It's a great place to start, but it's a horrible place to stay. At level 1, your rank dictates this, okay? So you're at level 1 because of a certain rank, basically, okay? Because you're a Ruby leader, you are a level 1 leader, okay? Let's say that. Your team is following you because they have to at this point, okay? Because you are their upline, you are their Ruby, their Emerald, their Diamond, and basically they're like, that's my upline, Jess, and I guess I'm going to have to do what she says because she knows what she's doing, okay? Like they're following you right now just because they feel like they have to. They don't know what else to do, right? They need someone to follow. But your position does not, your position right now does not make you a leader. Because you are their upline, that doesn't make you a leader, okay? The position doesn't make the leader makes the position, is what he says here, okay? Think of that as a rank. Like your rank doesn't make you a leader. You make you a leader, okay? During this time is the best time to learn. This is where you figure out your strengths and your weaknesses. This is what I'm good at. This is what I'm not so great at or not so comfortable with, but I'm going to get better, okay? This is a great time to do that evaluating right now, okay? Now, some of you, probably a lot of you at this point, I mean, if I'm being honest, you know, at maybe Ruby Emerald level, I was thinking like, I'm terrified of leading anything. I don't know what I'm doing. Like, what do you mean I have to lead, right? Maybe right now you're on my team and I'm like, here, okay, you have all these people on your team. They need you. Like, you need to lead them. Maybe Christy's telling you, hey, you need to take ownership of your team. You are their leader. And you're like, oh, but I don't know how I want to be. I'm not sure that I want to be. Okay. And a lot of you probably feel that way right now. Okay. And that's normal. But if you are purely leading right now at that level, if you're only leading because you have to, not because, you know, if you're only leading because I have to because I'm their Ruby leader, or I'm only leading because I have to because I'm the Diamond leader in that leg, but I don't really want to. I'd really rather Christy take this over, or I'd really rather like so-and-so do this for me because this really makes me uncomfortable. If you're purely leading out of title or because you have to, you're going to get a very minimum effort out of your team. That's what he says here, okay? If you are purely leading out of have to, you are getting minimum effort from your team, okay? And a lot of you can probably relate to this right now, okay? Because you're like, ugh, guys, right? I know. I've been there. Okay, all right, so that's level 1, all right? And now we're going to move up to level 2. Level 2, he calls the permission stage. Okay, this is the permission level. This is a level that starts to build relationships. Okay, so basically in this level, your team is going to go from following you because they have to following you and following your lead and doing what you suggest because they want to, because they like you. Okay, here you're becoming a friend. Here you're building relationships. They no longer have to really do this, but they're like, I kind of like her. I kind of dig her. She's kind of cool. And she kind of likes us. So I'm going to follow you now because I like you. Okay. Now, what changes there, right? They go from, basically in this level, they go from obligation. Okay. Or basically you as the leader go from leading through obligation to leading with heart, like, right? Like you're leading with a little more love now. All right. Why is that transition happen? It's the energy level. Okay. Your energy is increasing. You're getting more excited. You're getting more passionate. And then guess what happens? Your team does too. Right. Remember, what you do as a leader is going to bleed down into that team. Right. Your positivity or your negativity is going to bleed down into your team. Your indecision or you're like, hell yes, we're doing this, that's going to bleed down into your team. Okay. So that it's your heart. Okay. This is where your heart comes in. This is where you're building friendships. Now, here's where people get confused. And I will admit I have been here before. Friendship does not equal leadership. Okay. Just because they love you and they want to be your bestie doesn't mean that you are being beneficial to them, that you are leading them or they're getting anything out of you. Okay. Now, something that he said that I think is so true is that your team, people on your team make a conscious decision every single day if they want to follow you. And what I mean by that is like, do they want to, take your word? Do they want to do the things that you're doing? Do they want to take your advice? They're making that decision every day, right? So they may, at this, maybe they're like, Ashley, nope, I'm not going to listen to you right now. Like, I just can't with you. I'm going to go to Jess. Okay. You know what I mean? That doesn't happen, Ashley. Don't worry. But that's the example there. All right. So like I said, but they may be looking, they may still be looking to somebody else for more guidance at this point. Okay. Like, yeah, you might kind of sort of know what you're talking about, but I'm not so sure. Right. So at this level, this is what there's three things that leaders need to have at this level or need to be doing at this level. They need to be listening. Okay. Learning and leading. Listen, learn, lead. Listen, learn, lead. And it's important to understand here that behavior tells potential, not words. Somebody can tell you all day long that they are going to be your next ruby or your next diamond, right? Like, I'm doing this, I'm doing this, I'm doing this. But this is where behavior comes into play. This is where you start to realize you can talk a great talk, but you're not doing squat, right? This is where you start recognizing like who you're going to start working with here, because actions speak louder than words. Okay. All right. Let's move on to level 3. Isn't this good? Like, I loved this stuff. I was like, oh, it's so good. It's so true. Okay. Level 3, he calls this the production level. Okay. And this is a biggie. And I feel like this is where a lot of people are. Okay. Level 3. This is the production level. You're producing and you're building credibility. Okay. You are producing and you are building credibility. And by that, I mean, you are leading by example. Okay. You are giving your team a model to follow because you're not expecting them to do what you are not doing. Okay. You can't get mad that your team is not signing loyal customers if you're not showing your team that you are signing loyal customers, right? You can't get mad that your team's not bringing in new distributors if you are not bringing in distributors, right? Like, they're following your lead right now and you're building credibility because you're like, look, I'm doing it. So do what I'm doing. Okay. That's where this comes into play. Now, in this process, you're building, you're creating momentum in your team. Okay. Because they see you working, so they work. Okay. And I think this is so true. And you guys, I've seen this in my own team, within me. I've seen it company wide. When you have a leader who is literally just on fire, that their team explodes. Not only because they are bringing people in, but it is like, again, it's dripping down into that team and they're like, let's go, let's go, let's go. Like, they are following what you're doing, right? And if you're like, I just have no energy and I'm so tired, I'm so busy, I'm so incredibly busy, and I don't even know, and this and that, and they're like, like that's how they feel. That's how they feel. If you want to light a spark in your team, you got to be the spark. You have to be the spark. Okay. Now here's another thing that they talk about, and actually through the Joel Dunn actually, after this was over, was talking about like, this is where, as a leader, you show your team that, we're in that momentum time right now. Like, it is like business is booming, right? Like, business is crazy right now. So you have to show your team right now that we work harder in momentum versus the other way around. What a lot of people do when it seems to be like easier, right? Like signing more customers, or maybe more teammates, or more people are reaching out and asking questions even. Maybe not even you're signing them, but maybe people are just more curious. That is the time where you go, 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 go. Not like, oh, it's a little bit easier, so I'm going to work a little bit less. No, this is when you pour gas on the fire right now. And that's what this is when your team will explode, when you are building and working so hard during that momentum phase. And Joel Dunn was saying, like, he had a conversation with Mark Pentecost about like, what would you do differently? And he's like, in my prior company, I wish somebody would have told me to work harder during momentum. Like, I wish somebody would have told me that, and I would have. And a lot of times, you guys, I know I'm that way, and I know a lot of you guys are too, but a lot of times your teams are willing to do anything. They just need you to tell them what to do. Like, they just want permission. They just want you to be like, this is what you should do. This is what we're going to do. And we're going to do it together. And like, okay, let's go. Right. But a lot of times, if you're not seeing the effort and the work in your team, maybe because they don't know what to do, or they're not seeing you do it, so they don't know what to do. Okay. Okay. So, all right, here's the deal. So going from level 2 to level 3. All right. So going from that permission stage to the production stage. All right. I love this. People are going to choose success. Okay, so basically, people are going to choose the producer, okay, over the person that was just building the relationships, right? So you had the friend, like, oh, we're gonna have fun together, but now here's the girl that's like, oh my God, she like actually works, and like she's like doing the things, right? They're like wanting to follow the lead of that person because they want someone to take them to a level they've never been before. Okay. They want someone to blow their mind. They want someone to change their life. They want more out of their leader. Okay. They're like, we can be besties all day, but I'm going to kind of gravitate towards this person who's like doing the things and like is making it happen, because that's where I want to go. That's where I want to be. Now, people want to be on a winning team, right? I mean, naturally, John Maxwell gave the example of if you were going to play basketball and you could be chosen to play on John Maxwell's team, who's like an 80-year-old man, versus LeBron James' team, whose team do you want to be on, right? LeBron's, duh. So people want to be on that winning team, okay? Versus the person that just knows all the things, right? She talks a great talk, but they want to be on the team of the person that's doing the things, right? And this is where I think really speaking your goals and really speaking life into your team and creating that vision and excitement comes into play. I talk about this all the time, you guys, but I think like when you're going for a big promotion, sometimes, okay, so let me use the example of like my last promotion when I went for Presidential Diamond. I made it a big darn deal. Like, we were a Presidential Diamond team. Who wants to be on it? Everyone was working. Everyone was excited, okay? Not because they wanted me to get to Presidential, right? It was because this was like a team-wide feat, right? Like, this was a big deal. And like, I've been talking about, like, we are an ambassador team. And what that means, like, all the way in the depths of our organization, like, that is amazing and that's exciting, right? So it's creating that excitement and that vision of what that's going to do for them. What this is going to, like, we're going to do this together and I can't do this without you kind of thing. Like, we are all in it together. It's creating that excitement. Like, if you're going for a promotion, it is like, we are a diamond team and oh my gosh, this is amazing. Like, we were created for such a time as this, right? And he said this and I loved this. Okay. Who is going to catch the vision if you don't cast it? Right? There's so many people getting started on your team right now that don't know the possibilities, that don't know what's ahead for them or what could be in front of them until you are speaking it into existence, until you are putting it out there that this is possible, right? Who is going to catch the vision if you don't cast it? Oh, I love that. I love that, love that, love that. I love it. I think I'm going to put that in my office somewhere. Who's going to catch the vision if you don't cast it? Okay. The better that you become, the better people you're going to attract. Okay. Now, I hear this time and time and time and time and time again. I'm attracting the wrong people. I'm signing the wrong people. Nobody that I bring in is doing anything. Everything is broke. Everybody's broke. No one has any money. Like I hear this over and over and over again. So here's the thing. This is what John Maxwell says is better yourself. Work on your self-development. Work on how you are putting yourself out there into the universe, how you're posting, how you are, everything that you're doing. Work on making you better. And the better you're going to attract better people. And that makes total sense, right? That makes total sense. Okay. Level 4. This is the level of, there's only 5 guys, so we're almost done here, but I hope that you love this as much as I do. Level 4, he calls this people development stage. Okay. People development. This is where you start adding value to people's lives. Okay. At level 4, your biggest things here are going to be reproduction and duplication. Reproduction, duplication. Okay. Now, the more that you pour into people and develop people and teach people, the more you are going to become you're kind of like clone yourself. How many times have you ever thought like, oh, if I could just sign me, another one of me, somebody that wants this as much as me, somebody that will work as hard as me. How many times have you guys said that? I know I've said that a million times. I need another me. I just want another me, right? Because you know your heart. You know how bad you want this. This is level 4. This is where you start pouring so much and teaching so much into your team that they start becoming more of what you wish that you had. More of you, more of the heart, more of the work, more of that work ethic. Okay. When he says when you develop people to do what you are doing, that's the key. When you develop people to do what you are doing, it compounds everything. Okay. It compounds time. Okay. Because now you guys think about this. Now you have a team of leaders. Now you have a team of people. This is where my life got so much more incredible. Okay. Is at this level right here, because here I am. Now I have people like Sarah and Christy and the other Christy and Ashley and Lindsay and all of these people that are like now doing the things that I was doing and want this as much as me and are pouring into their teams like I poured into them. That's where the duplication comes in. And that's where things start to compound. Like I feel like as leaders in our team kind of rise up, my time got better, right? Like I felt like I got a little bit more of my time back. Your money gets better. Okay, your time compounds, your money compounds, your energy, your influence, and your results. Okay, because you're pouring into people, and now everything that you are working towards compounds. Okay. Now, at this level, here's what you do. Here's what you need to do at this level. You need to, number 1, or this is what you do, I guess, do well at this point, is that you recruit well, okay? Because you are better, so now you're attracting better people, okay? You recruit well and you position well. And what that means is you've got the right people in the right places, okay? And then you equip them well. And how do you equip your team? You show them to do what you are doing. So you are creating duplication. This business is 100% duplication. How well you can duplicate, how well you can teach your team to duplicate what you are doing, right? And that's why we're constantly trying to think of new things like how do we simplify this? How do we make this easier for, new people coming in? How do we do this quicker and faster and easier? Because the more you duplicate those things, the more successful that you are. And then the less stress it takes off of you, right? Because as a leader, you should not have to spend 90% of your time. Actually, guys, we're going to talk about this during the next John Maxwell thing, is where to put your time. But if you're putting all of your time into doing the little things over and over and over again, instead of creating a process that is easily duplicatable, then how are you showing your team that you are bringing the people in, right? If you're so busy pouring into your team and having, okay, this new person started today, but I need to do all the things. Like, I have all these people now in my organization, but I feel like I have to do all of the things. So, but now that takes up all of my time. So now I can't bring new people in. So how are they going to know that I'm out leading from the front if I'm, my time is spread so thin, right? That's actually what we're going to talk about next time. But my point in that is creating and teaching your teams that duplicatable, easy steps are going to be what you can kind of just spread throughout your organization, okay? Because you can't spend all of your time doing the same things over and over and over and over again when you could be easily duplicating the things so that everybody can teach the new people coming in, right? And those people can teach those people coming in. Like, that's how this works, all right? Okay, the last level with this is called the pinnacle, all right? This is where, like, you've gained respect. Like, that's the big word here, is respect. Like, your team follows you because of who you are and what you represent, or maybe what you've done or accomplished, all right? So maybe this is like Cammie Pentecost, okay? Like, she's been there. She built a black diamond. Now she's, head honcho. Like, your team follows you because of simply because of who you are and what you've done, what you've accomplished, and what you stand for, what you represent, all right? You have overall moral authority here, okay? Now, here's the thing that he says. You don't want to get so caught up in this last stage that you really just kind of slow down. You're like, I'm good. Like, everybody else can do all of the things. I'm just going to sit back here and enjoy the paycheck, right? Because he says when you start living on yesterday, you're no longer going to get the return that you want. Okay? If you're so busy living on yesterday, you're not going to get the return that you want, which goes back to what he said in the very beginning of your best work yesterday should not come close to what you're doing today, right? Because if you're not continuing to improve, your team's going to slow down. When you slow down, your team will slow down, okay? So basically what he says here is, like, your company basically gives you level 1, okay? You earn levels 2, 3, and 4, okay? You get to level 5 when you've done it all so well, okay? And this is how you increase your influence and become a great leader, is what he says. By continually trying to work through the steps and get to the next level and the next level and the next level, you're going to influence more people. Leadership equals influence. And that's how you become a great leader. Does that all make sense? Isn't that amazing though? Like, it really seriously made me think about, like, wow, like, how relevant that is in this particular company and in in what we do, and how much that affects our teams, right? Like, he wasn't talking about network marketing through all this, but I felt like he very well could have. Like, it's all so relevant. But I think the biggest takeaway from that needs to be, because I so often see people that want more, that want to get to that next level, that they want that income level. They want to be able to quit their job and stay home, but they don't want to step up as a leader. They don't want to dedicate more time to leadership. They don't want to pour into their teams or build those relationships, when that is the very thing that's going to give you all of what you want, is duplicating and pouring into your team and helping you people rise up and become better leaders. Like that is what is going to get you to where you want to be. Because when you pour into all of those people in your organization that you feel like you don't have time for, when you're pouring into all of them and then they duplicate what you've been doing and they start pouring into their teams as well, guess what? You get all of that and so much more. Everything's going to compound. Like he said, everything will compound and get bigger and better and get you to where you ultimately want to be. That's the name of the game right there. Yeah, it's good stuff, right? It's better when it comes from him, but does anybody have any comments or any questions? Good. I'm glad you enjoyed it, Cami. Me too. Now, for our next one, he talks about basically where to put your time, who to pour into, who to dedicate your time to and not pour your time into, how to work your business. It's really, really good stuff. And I'm excited to share that with you next time, but we would be on here until midnight if I did that. And I'm going to guess that's probably not good for you guys. Okay. Anybody have any questions, even if it's not related to any of the John Maxwell stuff? Anything for the month, anything for charting, anything for any of this that you need clarification on, comments on, questions on, anything? I know, Suzanne. Nothing? We got nothing? All right, good. So tonight or sometime in the next couple of days, I really want you to like look at those 5 levels and try to think about where you are. And if you're not really sure about where you are, maybe ask one of your sideline sisters, maybe ask your upline, where do you think I am? Try to really find out or think about where you are and then look at that next level and think about, okay, what do I need to do to get to that next level? Okay. I want you to think about that.
Jessica, did we give a deadline for letting us know if they want in push groups?
We're going to start them on March 1st. So for sure before then, we can start adding people to those whenever. We just won't start posting in there until March 1st. So, but definitely like talk to your teams, especially if you have somebody that's like eager to get to Ruby or, wants to quickly get to Diamond or whatever. Maybe talk to them and see if they want to be in it. And then, we'll make sure everybody gets added to those. Make sense?
So just for clarification too, because I was just thinking about this too, and maybe other people have this question. People that are already
charged Kami, for sure. That's fine. Yeah, sorry. She asked if they can be in a push group even if they aren't charted. Oh yeah, for sure. For sure. Like they don't even like if they're like, I haven't even assigned a distributor, but I want to know how to because I'm determined to get to Ruby in March. Totally fine. Yes.
So if no, Bailey,
kind of figured you're shooing.
If someone is charted for Ruby, should they be in the Ruby push group or should people be encouraged to get into the Diamond one? Or is it just personal preference?
Up to them.
Okay.
I'd say it's completely up to them. Like, what's their goal? And I would ask them realistically, what is your end of March goal? Okay. And maybe even ask them that before you tell them about the push group. And if they're like, I just want to be Ruby. Okay, perfect. I'm going to put you in the Ruby push group. Okay. If it's Emerald, then I would bump them up to the Diamond.
Okay. That's a great strategy. Thank you.
Because basically it's Emerald to Diamond's really not going to be a whole lot of difference. And I mean, heck, there's a bonus on the line, so why not go big, right? And it's only a couple more people, let's be honest. What was I going to say about that? Oh, another really great thing about the Diamond Push group too is we're going to talk about a lot about cabs, what that means, what those diamond bonuses mean for your paycheck, what that looks like. Your minds are going to be blown. I'm excited about that. Yes, go big or go home. I agree. I mean, heck, even if you don't hit it, you're super, that gets you like way closer than you were. So that's my philosophy. Yes, right. I know. Cabs are kind of the bomb. I mean, who doesn't want to get paid on things that they don't do? That's kind of like amazing, right? Yeah, totally. I remember that, Christy. Oh my God. When I first fully understood, I think I was going for Diamond, and I think it was Brittany Landrum sent me a video on cabs, how that works, how those pay out, those bonuses for Diamond. I literally like I think I cried. Honestly, I think I cried because I was like, this can't be real life. Like this can't be real life. It's seriously so amazing. This company, I'm telling you, makes me cry at least once a day. I love it. Okay. And remind your teams too, especially if you have new people, remind your teams Wednesday night, I'm going to do another Ask Jess live video in Boss Babes. Like they can ask me questions, or if you feel like you have anybody, it doesn't matter. Maybe you personally, maybe people in your team, your downline, new people, I don't care. Like things that people need clarification on or like are struggling with or they're not doing enough or whatever, shoot me a message and let me know, and I'll make sure that I cover that during that Ask Jess thing. Okay. Okay. All right. I'm sure you're all done hearing me talk tonight, so I'm going to hop off now. Love you guys. I appreciate your time so much, and I hope this was helpful. Bye, guys.